Welcome back. So Axios is reporting that President Biden has had a real rivalry with former President Obama. Biden compares himself to his former boss behind closed doors. Biden aides said this, quote, Obama and his team did not fully appreciate Biden's experience with foreign policy, Congress, and the grip and grin politicking, and they were disrespectful. Just hours after that report dropped, Obama was seen in London at London's 10 Downing Street for a surprise meeting with UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. Kaylee, I mean, having Obama do a meeting with a sitting Prime Minister of the UK is raising some eyebrows here. Your reaction?
It definitely is. And of course, there have been lots of rumors about what it is Obama could be doing there, whether it's trying to locate Kate Middleton, as the Gen Zers like to say, or perhaps even trying to convince UK officials to embrace the idea of a Palestinian state. But this rivalry between Biden and Obama, it's going back, even back to the Obama administration. But I got to say, it's a very one-sided rivalry, and that Biden seems to care a whole lot about what Obama thinks of him, and Obama does not seem to care at all. Obama had no issue refraining from endorsing Biden in the 2020 Democratic primary. He had zero issue choosing Hillary Clinton over Biden in the 2016 election. And Biden seems very upset by that fact. So the policies of the two administrations, they may not be very different, but clearly there is a bit of competition that Biden sees from his end.
I mean, I thought Obama wanted Susan Rice in there. I mean, I know that Kamala Harris was his pick, but after Kamala Harris showed her colors, do you think it was Susan Rice that was running the show before she walked out of the White House?
Well, there are a lot of holdovers from the Obama administration, you know, the so-called B team, whether it's Susan Rice or other people. And again, that's why there's not really a distinguishment between the Obama administration's policies and the Biden administration's policies.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Governor Huckabee, I remember when Obama went to the White House after Joe Biden was president, and they made a big stink about, oh, President Obama is coming to visit President Biden. And when Obama introduced Biden, he called him vice president. Right then and there, I knew, oh, God, these two are at each other.
Well, I think it's no secret that President Obama probably wishes he had picked someone else for vice president. Let's remember that it was Joe Biden, the only person in the Situation Room the night that President Obama, in one of his better moments, ordered the takeout of Osama bin Laden. And Joe Biden said, don't do it. He was the only person in the room. Robert Gates famously said about Joe Biden that the one consistency in Joe Biden's career was that he had been absolutely wrong on every foreign policy decision in his 50-year career in public service. That's the Joe Biden that many of us are now watching fumble across the stage. So there's no doubt that President Obama probably thinks that Biden is not the best pick back in 2020, and he won't be the right guy in 2024. And he's wishing somebody else could step in and save the day for the Democrats. But Joe is stubborn. He's going to take it to the logical conclusion, which is being defeated by Donald Trump in November.
Well, Mike, Biden is hitting the campaign trail this week in Nevada, Arizona, and Texas. An NBC report says the president's anxiety is growing ahead of the general election. Biden reportedly having a meltdown when he was told about dropping poll numbers in battleground states like Georgia and Michigan over his handling of the Israeli-Hamas war. Your thoughts?
Well, the worst part of all of this is that Joe Biden doesn't understand that, well, as Obama said, elections have consequences. So does policy. Policy has a consequence, and the policies of Joe Biden, whether it's his economic policy, his border policy, his duplicitous policy on Israel, where he's for them, then he's against them, that's what's causing the tanking numbers. And if you add to that the people's personal concerns about his fitness for office, his cognitive ability, Joe can scream and yell and blame people, but he needs to look in the mirror. That's where the problem is. He doesn't know what he believes, and he keeps changing his mind. He tries to appease everybody. And when you try to make everybody happy, you make nobody happy. And that's why Joe Biden's numbers are failing, and yelling and screaming doesn't change his disastrous policies.
Yeah, Kaylee, I mean, this is obviously the Elizabeth Warren agenda that Joe Biden is pushing, and it's not resonating, to say the least.
No, it's not. And Biden's big problem in these swing states like Nevada, Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Georgia is the fact that he has not even shored up support among his own base. He can't even get the Democratic Party to fully get behind him. You look at the primary contests that we've had over the past several weeks, and this massive number of Democratic voters who have chosen to vote for an uncommitted option instead of for Joe Biden. And in Michigan, my home state, you had 100,000 voters who decided that they would rather vote for the uncommitted option than for Joe Biden. That's going to be a very serious problem in November when you consider that back in 2020, Biden won Michigan by just 150,000 votes. If those 100,000 voters who voted non-committed in the primary decide to stay home or perhaps even vote for Donald Trump instead, he is going to lose those critical swing states.